Thank you, Your Excellency, for your insightful keynotes. To continue our morning session, we will move to an interesting fireside chat with Mr. Masood Sharif Mahmood, CEO Etisalat by E&, and Mr. Jawad Abbassi, Head of MENA Region GSMA. But first, we will play a short video.
To go forwards, sometimes we have to look backwards. Once, we were the Emirates Telephone Company, a pioneer of modern communications, drawn to new technologies, journeying to many countries. Today, we are Etisalat and so much more. Still bringing people closer to everything and everyone they love. Still empowering new generations, new ways of living. Always inspired by the possibilities we see in this world. In every place, in every person. The future we imagine, the one we are creating, where you can be who you want to be and do what you want to do. It's possible. We just have to make it, all of us, together. We are E and we're here to make possible.
Mr. Masood, Mr. Jawad, welcome on stage.
Welcome to our fire chat talk. Mr. Masood, maybe we'll start with an introduction about your role in Etisalat by E&, and then we'll go with some questions.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, really, and thank you for the invitation. And before I start, I'd like to echo what you mentioned as well. I think the Moroccan team deserves a round of applause for their phenomenal performance. I think I always try to look at achievements in life and try to link it to the corporate world. What they showed is a real sense of discipline, a real sense of sticking to the plan, but also a real sense of passion about what they do. And if these are very transferable to the businesses that we do, and I think this is something that we can all learn of, so best of luck for what they've done. In terms of the role, I think the journey that we've gone through has been a tremendous journey, to be quite true. Over the last 2 years, we've gone through a tremendous transformation journey. So what we saw outside and what we saw, what's happening in the telecom industry, it's something that's not a surprise or something that's familiar, all of you are familiar with in terms of the pressure that the industry has been seeing. And this pressure, I've been on many boards and many discussions. Some of them, the colleagues that we've had those discussions and debates with are here with us today as well. And I recall the same discussions we were having for almost 15 years in terms of the cannibalization of the business, the growth of the data, the sort of, or you can call it the slow death of voice. All of these things are pretty much known. And if we put it into specifics and stats, the growth in data over the past decade, since 2016, has been a phenomenon, 55% growth per annum. While the reduction price, we're talking an average of 30%, and these are from different research sources out there. At the same time, if you look at the capex investment of the telecom sector globally, it's around 300 billion was the latest research for 2021, 300 billion US. That's tremendous amount of investment. The return, the same story, the return on the investment, the cannibalization of the OTT, and also the new introduction to the system in terms of the B2B, the hyperscalers, introduction to play. You have the vendors also who are going direct to the customer base. So the challenges are all over and all across. But I'll say again what I said before is that the industry around us, who we are accusing of eating our lunch, they have figured out a way to reach to the end customer. They figured it out. And as a telecom industry, we were too slow to figure it out. Too slow for a variety of reasons. The mega investments that were done, the comfort zone that we were at, call it. But now the writing is on the wall is that we cannot continue the same defense story in terms of, well, we're doing the investment, they're eating our lunch. We have to figure out a way. The world have changed right in front of our eyes. And we would have been at a better position if we started earlier as a sector. And to be quite honest, the sector did start earlier, but had different levels of success and failures in terms of coping with this pressure. But today, we are having to transform in a light speed manner because the customers' expectations, while they were like this in the last 10 years, they're high up at this level now in terms of how the easiness of the OTTs and the customer experience that they offer. So what did we do? Over the past year or so, a year and a half, we've been busy in transforming the business. And due to all of these pressures, we said focus is extremely important. De-layering is extremely important. What we did, what used to be known as Etisalat Group is now E&. E&. is split into 4 main verticals. The first vertical is what we call the core telecom vertical. 2 parts of it, Etisalat UAE, which I head, and then the international, which is headed by my colleague Mikhail. And this is the vertical where it's not the traditional vertical anymore. It's reinventing the engine and really modernizing the core. And I'll speak about that shortly. And then you have what we call the consumer digital vertical. Give it enough attention, focus, agility, and that's what we call eLife, headed by my colleague Khalif Al-Shamsi. And then the enterprise digital, or the B2B digital, the equivalent of all the solution providers out there, and that's EN Enterprise, headed by my colleague Salvador. And then another diversification play, which is EN Capital, which is a cross between private equity and venture capital that invests into technology. So the play is a technology company that looks at the adjacent sectors, but looks at it in the right way, enabled by the right structure, by the right focus, by the right boxes that are specifically dedicated for this adjacency next to us. This has been I'll be honest, it was an intensive year and a half. We've cut a long way through this transformation journey. I know that after us, a lot of global operators have announced the same de-layering approach. And another important aspect of it, which I'll speak about later, is that within the blend of all of this, prior to this de-layering, there were gems that were confined, and they were not given the opportunity, not only from attention and focus. Let's say the consumer digital business, we have our customer loyalty program, digital loyalty program, Smiles, which is enabled by blockchain. Those digital adjacencies looked at alone, there is a valuation potential that was untapped, that needs to be unlocked. And this is what we're doing. Those gems, separating them, putting them into standalone infrastructures with their own team, with their own balance sheet, eventually going to the point where really realizing its true value.
So to recap, you've explained the imperatives behind the change and what Etisalat has done in these changes. So can I summarize it by saying you're moving from a telecom company to a technology company?
Absolutely.
From a telco to a techco?
Absolutely.
How does that, what's the future, the mid-range future and the long-term, mid-term future and the long-term future?
So what does that mean to move to a techco? That means, A, you modernize the engine. If you're running on gas combustion, now you need to have a plant that runs and produces electrical engine, if we use the automotive industry analogy. So that means if we look at the core telco, the introduction of machine learning, the introduction of robotics, actually the acceleration of robotics into our processes. Today you have 300 plus business processes that are automated using robotics. This not only reduces cost, it reduces errors, it reduces complexities, it simplifies the machine from the inside. Machine learning algorithms that helps us in our even on the network side, self-healing network, a machine learning sort of algorithms that helps us today tremendously reduce, not only reduce our technical fault and reduce our complaints. Our complaints on our fix has been reducing tremendously because of all of these introductions of machine learning algorithms and many more. But also, we've reduced our...
Is it because a lot of predictive maintenance is happening, a lot of predictive
maintenance, that's
okay.
what I mean.
Okay.
Predictive maintenance and self-healing networks capabilities as well, and without going into too many specifics, but those have helped us curtail our man-hour by down to 1/4 of what it was before. We're talking about automated migration of customers. It has gone up by the automated migration for our fixed customers has gone up by 100x, the capability from manual to automated. And now the next level is, so this is the engine from the inside. The next level is the analytics on top of all of that, making sure all of your data lakes are talking to each other. If not physically combined into a single data lake, at least talking to each other in the right manner to produce the right analytics about your customer base in order for you. It's not just a matter of monetization. It's a matter of proper differentiation as well, which is very important, something that we need to do better as an industry between our customer base. So this is the engine. Now, if you look at the consumer digital business, it's called as eLife. Today, the eLife is strong in fintech. We have the fintech application eMoney, used by a huge amount of customers within the UAE, and this fintech capability is seamless. We have the digital content and media by the acquisition of Stars Play, and then also we have the digital insurance. We have our sort of play when it comes to, I would say, when it comes even to the certified voice over IP applications. We have our application GoChat, which has been our push to the market, and we've seen a tremendous uptake of 300 within few months, 3 million downloads, up to 1 million monthly active subscribers, or I would say users that are using this. So all of these things are, we should not sit and sort of complain about what others are doing to our lunch. Is our push into this sector and trying to link ourselves with the customer with the easiness of use, with the digitization level that is equivalent to what what's their right, really. If I go back to the core, our interaction with the customers, with the tremendous help of the regulator, which is truly a progressive regulator towards digitization in terms of our interaction with our customer. Our digital interaction with the customers when it comes to pre, post, and fixed have been increasing quarter on quarter. The introduction of the UAE Pass have simplified life for us, where today you have a simple login process where you don't need to remember your login or a password just with your UAE Pass. All done digital within seconds. Hopefully more capabilities. So we have the capabilities of on the app, on the Etisalat app, being able to activate, pick whatever prepaid product that you would like with full flexibility, and the postpaid is coming soon. So all of these things, in order to be agile with a customer, in order to minimize the touch points, is things that should have been pushed, to be quite honest, more aggressively in the past, but there is intense focus, and it's enabled by the fact that you have specific verticals focusing on these segments under the umbrella of EAN. So this is some snippets of what does it mean to be a techco.
You've mentioned some recent acquisitions done by EAN Group, Econ Capital, and so on. Can you reveal to us any upcoming acquisitions in the next 1 to 2 years, or is that under wraps?
So today, I think, if I speak about my vertical, which is the Etisalat UAE, today, the way we're looking at growth, the growth that we're looking at, we're looking to grow the business, but also, and growth could come organic and inorganic, and both of them are fair game. For us, what we're focused on within Etisalat UAE is to make sure that our growth, whenever it comes, it doesn't come at the expense of the end customer, passing some value to the end customer. That's why the way that we go about it is blending our digital adjacencies with our core products to create what we call thematic approach. What do you mean by that? Today, if you have a mobile pack today that's enabled by an abundant data bundle, there is an insurance package, a travel insurance package. There could be a device insurance package that comes with it, that comes blended within the offering, so that you have an all-in inclusive approach. So today, we are growing the core. We are growing them by passing more of the value to the end customer, but we're making sure that also we are extremely agile and efficient. So it's important. Efficiency is extremely important for us at Salat by E-Ant, the telecom vertical, the UE telecom vertical. And efficiency is enabled by what I spoke about in terms of the robotics at the network level and also at the IT stack levels, be it the OSS and the BSS stacks. Machine learning, algorithms, and many more, and digital interaction with our end customer as well. So all of these things are our tools in order to truly grow our business going forward.
Thank you very much. Tony, how are we doing on time? Okay. We have 1 minute and 33 seconds. Thank you for the high-tech setup, Tony. Maybe we'll get 1 or 2 questions from the audience. Raise your hand if you're interested. Tony, please. علي صوتك بس.
Thank you. So you mentioned about the GoChat application. Maybe the other will do another application also. It's not better if we will have like under TDRA umbrella an application for everyone?
It's not within my position to speak on what the TDRA should or should not do, but what I can tell you always, competition is good. Competition is healthy, and we should always be there. And we should remember always, we cannot have a telecom mindset if we are claiming that we are tech. What do I mean by that? All of the OTT that have succeeded, they succeeded because they were within an open ecosystem that's open completely for creativity, innovation, and to go head to head. And it's the survival of the fittest. And if you go something that's always backed, you will not have the survival of the fittest type of thing. So that's my personal view. But for me, I can only say that the ecosystem has been very supportive. It's been very supportive in terms of innovation. It's been very supportive in terms of pushing for the digital adjacencies. And that's something that, to be quite honest, I think we should exploit, all of us as a sector. And I think it's really healthy that and it could be GoChat today, it could be another application from Do, it could be another application from Etisalat by E-Ant, it could be another application from the market completely as well. I think the success that we've seen from the sector that we claim that's eating our lunch have thrived through healthy competition. Okay.
And on this note, I will add one point. I agree, competition is the perfect approach, and the TDRA could actually probably enhance competition by mandating interoperability between the different apps. So that could be the role for government. We are out of time. Thank you very much, Masood, for your time. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Tony and team, for a great event.
Thank you.